Hi, I'm Sean. You're watching Shopworx. On this video, we're doing something a little different. You can tell I'm still working on the 6-door here. I'm piecing at it a little here, a little there. Just haven't really been able to get enough together to get a video on it where it actually seems like I've accomplished anything. So, haven't given up. We're still working away at it. I'm not sure when this video is going to be out, so it might be some more of these first and then this, but we're going to go play in the snow outside today, I think, a little bit. Some of you guys can tell we had some snow and some wind, and really doesn't look all so bad up here. Yeah, not too shabby. I got smoked on the highway. Some guy fishtailed into me. It's hence the door and some other stuff. You know, 1-hour job. Really didn't pay to get out of bed that day. The wind was whistling through here. Looks pretty good up top. Problem is once we get over to this area, as you can tell, we have white stuff. Not sure how it's showing up on the camera, but probably 3 feet of snow there up against the grass in the ditch. We plowed it out once with the Mini X, and obviously I had to park the truck down below here. You can sort of maybe tell on the fence posts how deep the drifts are here. I'm on my way down to the truck, where I felt like a safe spot to leave it and get a pin out for the skid steer. Working on cable for the new to me snowblower. You know, some of you might be asking about the new to me end of things here. Well, this is a little wider one. I can't remember what the other one is, a 72 or something like that. Anyway, we're much too narrow for the skid steer being so wide. And this one's an 84 inch. So this one also has a hydraulic tilt for the chute nozzle here. You can lift it up and down. And can't really tell here if I don't brush the snow off, but has a geared drive for the chute for left or right. So that's kind of the selling features there. The other one had pretty much none of those things. It was narrower. The chute was manual with the nut. It had a wing nut kind of thing on there. You tip it and lock it in. And the bottom had a winch cable strung around it a couple times, and you could rotate it one way or rotate it the other way as long as the winch was in operation, which I don't know why they mount the winch the way they did, but there's a little hole on the end motor and that thing sees up basically every winter or every summer waiting for winter. So this is where we're at. Good old made in North America, at least. Gonna have to get in here and see what's all wrong. Haven't used it. I'm going to try to flush some fluid through it later, grease the chains, etc., etc. Trying to hunt around. There used to be a, oh, there it is, control cable for all this stuff. So there's a wire with 5 pins here, and she's a little crusty. The red's faded to white. Picked this up at the where we bought it there on a farm, and this thing was in the trees a little bit, so I don't think it's been used much, and I also don't think it's been used recently. So, the reason I don't think it's been used much is you still have the primer on the auger drive assembly, and it looks pretty black. It's all factory paint. You got to convert everything from these 5 wires to over here on this unit, these 14 pins. So you don't want to know what they want for these ends. I'll see if I can dig some part numbers up and do it for the piece that plugs in here, all the pins and all that jazz. what I want to do is just come off of here with the adapter, loop it around, maybe back here somewhere, put a 6-pin trailer plug, because you know those ends are dirt cheap. I'm looking like $100 and some bucks for parts and pieces to make that. You know, 2 feet of cable to here, and then a male, female, and away we go. So what I'm doing, I guess I'll get in the shop and tell you. Too cold out here. Warmest it's been in, well, about 3 days since the snow started blowing. And it's minus 20 with the wind chill right now. Hand bomb all this stuff out too. Well, after all that digging around, I found some papers I had for a while. This one here, it's from Skid Steer Genius. I don't know if you can read that or not. It's on their website. I found it somewhere. And here it lists all the different skid steers: Bobcat, Case, Cat, John Deere, Kubota, etc., etc., Yanmar, Yell. Anyway, Takeuchi is what I'm interested in. And pin B is ground, pin C is switch 1 up, pin D is switch 1 down, E is number 2 up, and F is number 2 down. I have no idea what the console is here. I'm kind of wondering if that's maybe like a CAN bus setup in there. And 12 volt. So what I'm interested in here is the ground, the 12 volt, and the 4 for the joysticks. That'll give me everything I think I need for that blower, as well as anything possibly down the road if I need more outputs than that. I'm looking at keeping the ground in the 12 volt and running like 12 volt crane pendant style there, where you could have, you know, up to 8 different outputs. So, you know, that'd be 4 different bidirectional valves. So if a guy wanted a tree spade, or I don't know, I've had different other attachments over the years on stuff I've worked with. But that's just first thing I could think of is like 4 shovels for a tree spade, or you could do even more, I guess, with more pendants. So anyway, a guy could do it remotely. So that's what I'm looking at. Here it shows the pin out for the Takeuchi connector, which buttons are where, the ground, the hot, or the accessory, which would be the 12 volt, and then the other 4 pins. And that's in the manual. So here, I don't know if you can read or not, they have the 14 pin connector. The male one here, it looks like, is an HDB 34-18-14-PN-059 for what that one on the skid steer is. So I'll see if I can find the ones we bought. We bought them at a electronics store. And here it says the total max working current's 20 amps, and each terminal is rated for 13. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Started doing up the end here, and then figured, hey, you know, if we're doing this, maybe other people are trying to come up with the same thing. So we got 6-wire trailer cord here. It's kind of I don't know if this is Arctic Flex, but it's fairly flexible cord. A lot of the blue stuff is brand name Artiflex. I guess it's good down to minus 65. 6 conductor, 14 gauge. Yeah, it says Artiflex right on it. And the connector body here, just trying to see, it's not a breakaway style. I'm not really thinking I need that after we cut and splice and put the trailer connector on it. No visible part number on it, so it's not a brand name one. Oh, the back end says Deutsch. Never know. Anyway, so what we got to do is populate the connector with these pins. You got to push them in from the back into here in the right location, figure out which colors we're going to use for what, and try to seal this up best we can. The other end here we're going to wire in onto the spools. Not sure if today's going to be the answer in the weather, but tomorrow's supposed to be a little nicer day yet. So got two nice days and back to crap. I'll try to get her done up and then back to the 6-door. That's why things are going slow. Every time you think you got a little time to work on it, other projects pop up and you got to drop it. So we'll populate this and see if we can't get it right the first time. Well, kind of went through and figured out what's what here. I'm going to use 6-wire cord, so it's white, red, black, yellow, green, and brown. And you know, automotive white is usually your ground, especially on trailer wiring. Red's usually your 12 volts. We're kind of sticking with somewhat of your colors. Black, we're going to go with 1 down. Yellow is 2 down. Green 2 up, and brown 1 up. So I guess ground will be pin B. 12 volt will be pin K. 1 down is D. 1 up is C for Charlie. 2 down is F, and 2 up is G. That's what we're going to use. Again, this is for the Takeuchi TL12V2, so your mileage may vary if it's not that unit. You might want to find this sheet here and go with that. And kind of a nice little sheet. Up top it gives you your pin outs. Down the left there it's all your different units. And then a picture of the connector, which pin would be where on it. So yeah, I recommend finding some papers on it and go from there. Other thing I found out, don't really do any of these things at work. If we do, usually it's sized for using all the pins. Did not get any of the white plugs here, or plugs for it, and supposedly a special tool to insert and remove. So usually I just jam them in with a little flat blade screwdriver, pushing on the back end until they pop. Yeah, so might be on the hold for today's project at this point till I get the white pins to plug the rest of the holes, being that this is going to sit outside. Don't need it filling up with moisture in through the connector into the backside. So stay tuned for the next seconds. Well, changing our mind about them pins. Kind of think they're possibly unnecessary. Not sure if you can see or not. There's a hole here. There seems to be one on every 90 degrees here. So I'm not really sure if I'm gaining anything putting those rubber plugs in, if there's going to be a hole possibly open up on top and another one on the bottom. So shot that theory. We're just gonna give her and populate it. Well, we'll button that up and one end will be ready to go. Well, I did the hard part. John's finishing it up. Just get her weatherproofed, and it's not really weatherproof to them holes in there, but strain relief, how's that? Well, that cable's what, 12 feet long, John?
I believe so, or 13.
12, 13 feet. Anyway, we're gonna leave it the whole length for now. Just use it as an attachment cable off the snowblower to the skid steer, and then we'll have a nice day and not much is going on. We'll make a bracket for the trailer connectors and just cut the wire. That I have over at the 6 store. You're even in luck. Had one of them pack it in, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, one of them heat guns.
Well, we probably use it for sure.
Yeah, and I think a rock got stuck in the fan or something in there, and then it melted the tip. It broke some blades. Heard a ka-chunk. Where were you getting those? Somewhere down in the States? Hobby Lobby or something?
No, it was Joyce's or Joanne's.
Joanne's, yeah, that's what it was. Embossing guns.
The 300 watt.
300? I thought it was more than that.
Yeah.
Here's ye old melted one. Been retired.
Quite good.
320 watt, what do you know? Basically just putting that on there, stiffen it up a little bit, give it something good to clamp to for strain relief when we finally do a loop-to-loop for the trailer plug. Well, like I say, I'll see if I can find some part numbers for that end. I know I had a hard time finding it. Seems like everybody at the attachment store or wherever you buy your machines at, they want to sell you it right off their lot at price times 300% or whatever the deal is there, instead of letting the guy know the secret. And
Yeah, they couldn't even find the damn part number.
yeah, that was a local tacky dealer. Went in there just looking for the connector. You know, probably a lot more available and cheaper in the States, but up here they're don't give them away. I think last time we looked for a cord for something, it was what, $400, $350, $400. So from here on out, it's going to be cheap. It's going to be a $15 trailer 6-pin cord end.
What we'll do is find out where the end will be. We'll find mount. We'll cut this, put a 6-pin round trailer plug on it, and then from there on it'll be cheap. We're going to cut that and then just tie this in, and then from there on we'll just use trailer plugs, and we'll have it for other attachments ready to go. Cheap and easy to go. $7 versus $100 or whatever.
Yeah, and that's got what, brass pins in that one, I think?
Yeah, all of them are really
nice round pins. They clean, self-clean as you plug them in and out. Same thing with the female part here. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's okay if you only got one attachment or no attachments or whatever the deal is, buy one end or two ends. But what do we got? We got
two snowblowers.
Snowblower, you got the other snowblower, the 6-way blade.
Concrete mixer.
With the chute discharge, yeah. So it'll make it easy, a lot easier to plug that in too. Like I say, I don't know why they got to go hard with these things, but you know, I've had more reliability with the trailer connector than any other style. You know, like the pin connector, the RV trailer plugs, I've had nothing but grief with over the years. They don't seem to.
I won't even install them.
Don't even self-clean or nothing like these ones here.
Yeah.
The other thing, I don't know, might not be able to see on the camera or not, but you see the slit in each of those? If you're not making a good contact with it, you just get in there with the screwdriver, and I'm going to stress gently, pry it apart.
Just not much.
And that's enough to create good contact and make them self-clean again. More than that, I've really never had to change anything unless water got in the back end and really corroded everything up on the inside. So reliable, cheap, simple, quick.
Easy to get parts.
Yeah, not saying go do her, but that's what we're doing. What you do is up to you. Nice thing about this, if a guy needs some other attachments or something too, you can just undo the adapter and you're back to factory. Quick. Anywho, you can see even the snow blew in everywhere. Trying to get this apart. It's got nylocks in it, so I gotta just take it apart from one end until I can get my hand in far enough and see what we got then. I haven't even opened these up before. I'll change these couplers out too to a flat base. And then hopefully all these other little hoses will hang in for the short term here, rest of the season. Sure be nice having hydraulics, so we'll be able to turn that chute. Got tired of working on that winch and finally just gave up and turned the chute one direction, and you only blew the one direction. Just had to plan your path out a little better. Sometimes you make multiple trips, but you know, spend an extra 20 minutes blowing snow, versus spending a day pissing around with a winch. The gloves are freezing everything in here. How buddy got his hand in here and put this damn nut on. Must have smaller mitts. Might not go back on after. I can barely get the wrench on it, let alone my hand. See if I stick my hand to the inside. No washer on that one. Wonder why.
I think we'll get some of those panel nuts for body fender nuts. Pop them on.
Oh, blind nuts?
Blind nuts.
That would be a plan.
Okay, so looks like it splits.
Gotta get a flamethrower. Here up, see what we got. Okay, valve body. The wiring in here splits into the loom. That's why you never use white tie wraps or anything outdoors.
Tie wrapped here.
That one's black, eh?
Yeah.
That one won't break. Well, that's what a guy's gonna have to do, I guess, is I don't really want to tie it on into each individual
I think we have to.
housing, but yes, you could do that.
I would just, what I would do is probably cut it right here and tie wrap the cable and put those insulated disconnects right on here, and we can change them easily. Okay, that's just, that's what,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Why 5?
5, I don't know. A1, A2, B1, B2. And no idea what 5 would be. Or C1. Leave the panels there for now. Figure out what we're doing. Need 2 flat face couplers. Looks like 3/4 pipe thread, I think.
Yeah.
Be 3/4? Looks about 3/4.
I don't know.
Don't think it's 1.
This one here's what we can do.
That's JIC. You
Yeah,
have to get an adapter JIC to
We need one female.
whatever anyway.
Oh, we're getting new ones, I think.
Oh, need flat faces.
Yeah. Male and female. Oh, these are regular hydraulic fittings.
These are, yeah, like you plug in a tractor. They're,
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call them. Pioneer couplers, I think.
Yep.
Ain't bought those in years. Many years. 20 years. Well, guys, I put some video footage on the computer yesterday there doing the snowblower, and realized that I screwed up on the pinout on there. So make sure you don't follow along what we got there. Also in town, got my flat face couplers and JIC adapters, so we're good to go there. Gonna change that pin out on here, and we're gonna get her wired up and fittings on and give her a go. Yeah, so looking on here, I've got G right here in the wrong spot. I should be using where is it? G right here in the wrong spot. I should be having these two populated, not these two. So I'm gonna have to change them around. So I really don't know what I was thinking there, but I went through the paperwork again, and G should be E on there. So looks like I've got to move one wire into a new location. I am going to have this sheet. I did a screenshot of it there when I was looking this morning, and I'll run it at the end of the video there for 10 seconds or whatever. You guys can pause it and do whatever you got to do there, take a screenshot and print it or whatnot. So that'll be at the end. And while I was figuring this stuff out and knowing I needed to change wire, these are the cheap tools to do the pins to remove them. And sort of show you, because you're not going to be able to film the connector end of it worth a darn, but it goes over top of the wire and pushes in around the silicone there, and you give it a little bit of a finagle with it, and then pull it out, holding the wire, pulling this. You don't pull this back or it'll just unsnap. So I got to move that around, and yeah. While I was there also, I inquired about those pins, and really they're not necessary or whatnot. They're not necessary, but they're not a bad thing, I guess. So they're 17 cents a piece. I was talking with a guy there, and he said if we plug them here, if any water does get in the holes back here, at least it will not get in between the two connectors due to the silicone seal. So I'm gonna plug them up as well while I've got it back apart, and be as proper as it's going to be. Well, you can see those white plugs in there. I just got to push them in the rest of the way. As soon as I push them in, you see the one down there I already got. Once I do that, you can't really tell I put them in, so I'm going to push those in. And we were thinking about that 5-wire or 5/5 solenoid on that Snowblower there, and John came up with what he thinks is going on, and I tend to agree, so I'll let him explain that here right now.
One of the solenoids, I think it's C, it's got a black coming back from each one of the other solenoids, so I'm thinking that there's a, when you put power to it, it sends power to the other solenoid to shut that off, and I believe in order to do that there's a diode in each one of those other 4 solenoids, so it doesn't go, power doesn't go back to them, otherwise it would have a everything activating. So we're basically going to leave that all there, just going to cut it back from the cable and re-splice it in at that point.
Back where we know it won't affect anything.
Right.
So I'll get this buttoned up here again, and then we'll be ready to go out and crimp some crimps. So what we usually do is we put the males on the ground and the hots get the females on, just because there's less chance of getting something inside as far as the room goes. I'll get these crimped up here before we go outside and do them other ones. I'm going to do the odd one first so I don't screw it up.
Now, where's the jug of these things?
And for now, I guess the hot one's not going to get used, so we'll just put a bunch of grease in it.
Oh, we'll put the female on it.
Yeah, fill it full of grease. And then it's there if we need it later. So, we've got the male and the females all done up. I put the hot in there and just filled it with grease. Not regular grease by any means, but I usually just snap on another connector, and you can see how much grease is sticking out the end. I'll just wipe that off after, and that should be more or less weatherproofed. Cheapest stuff I've found for doing this is the Grode Ultra Seal corrosion. Here, let me flip it up the right way. The Grode Ultra Seal corrosion preventative sealant. It just basically keeps the water out and doesn't conduct. It's good for doing this kind of stuff here. Weatherproofing connections. I go through a lot of it. Just about everything gets, you know, under hood connectors in the 6-door, all the other trucks, pigtails for lights on trailers.
Like Frank's hot sauce, puts that shit on everything.
Pretty much. Saves a lot of problems down the road. Had it bite me in the butt once though. I put it on a 6-way trailer plug, John, in the back end, like, inside, and somehow I got water through the front and it didn't get out the back and it corroded. New flat bases, get rid of the pioneers. We'll do them the easy way, do them in here while it's warm. It's actually warming up quite nice outside. I haven't checked the weather recently, but we got to be close to freezing. I hate putting Teflon tape on a lot of things nowadays. Had a lot of things I've pulled apart, other people have done, and maybe even a few I've done. I don't know, and had Teflon stuck in things, so use a lot of this pipe dope now, and anaerobic sealant. Don't have any real issues with it, so. Other than it makes a mess. I do not know which direction those hoses are out there, being Pioneer couplers. There's no flow to go with on them without really looking at things. I guess I can check that block out before we go and see if anything makes sense on there for me. You can get this stuff at a hydraulic shop for an ungodly price, or you can go to Home Depot and get thread sealant with Teflon for a lot cheaper. Clean up the extra so I don't get it all over me, and away we go. And John's going to cut the wires right there because we're behind all the connectors. Go back to the 5 wires that we should have. And John's standing on the oil there. I pulled one of the connectors off, and I was going to flush the oil, but I think it's pretty clean looking. Not too worried. Didn't see any glitter. So we're just going to put the ends on, do the wires, strap the cord back a little bit, grease some bearings, oil the chain, and see if there's a gearbox on there anywhere. Just give her a quick once over, and then see if we can't put it to work. Oh, also, got smart. Got a bunch of U-nuts for auto body. I'm going to clip them all on in all the spots I can't get at. Except for maybe them ones down there. They look a little further back in than the longest clips I could get. We'll give it a whirl. See if it works. I doubt it. So, got an assortment. So, looking at this block, John, what would you say goes where here? I'm assuming this one here would be your flow. No, that's to the motor.
You can't tell.
Yeah, I'm not too sure here. Not a hydraulic guy. I know enough to get by.
I'd say that's your input.
Looks like there's a leak on it somewhere down there, though.
We'll find that after we use it.
I see some oil. We should check the connectors on there, make sure they're tight. Well, the bottom one's got the tie wrap on it. Now, tie wrap could mean just about anything, but I'm gonna go with it meaning that it's the pressure. Could be just some farmer's got a tie wrap on one side of all his ports and doesn't know the difference either, or what the deal is. But
say right in here.
Well, the nice thing is with the JIC ends, if it's wrong, it's easy to change. You don't have to re-dope anything or whatever the case may be. Leave these out here for now. Probably need them. The direction's wrong. Started in a while. We got the wires together here. Males, females. We're gonna have to make sure we keep it away from the shaft here. And there's a grease zerk, one of them. Don't see anything on this idler. And I'm not too sure down there. There's probably one facing straight down or something stupid. Well, whatever we do, as long as we make sure one solenoid goes to green and yellow, we got at least a shot at which one's which. Apparently there's supposed to be some kind of a box with this thing. Didn't get it at the auction. The guy didn't know where it was, if there was one or nothing, so being a estate sale. We're kind of going along with what we got here, but there is a box, switch box of some kind. Red goes to that one. Red and blue. Okay, so you're at least there.
Huh?
Said you're at least there. You got red and blue going to one, and green and yellow go to the other. So do a guesstimation here. Let's go brown on red and black on blue. If it doesn't work out the way we want, we'll unplug them and replug them. Now we got it hooked on here. Moved the hoses around, pushed them in and out. Make sure nothing's rubbing on the shaft right now. So we got to do the electrical still here. Hook it up to the top. This cord's going to be super long, but like I say, it's kind of done that way for a reason. Now, should be a big spot to the top here. Like that. So, yeah, we have lots of cord here for doing what we want to do after. Like I say, I want to loop this back around and put a trailer plug up here somehow. Not quite like that, but you get the idea. Obviously we haven't put nothing else together here. We're just going to test rotation and all that stuff, make sure there's no leaks. Tightened up some of those other fittings there. Get this off where we lose the cap for the tube. Well, at least we know it's flinging crap out the fan, so we're going the right way. Now, hold the drain plug underneath here. Not sure. The lighting is really not the best. Nothing came out. Done cleaned up the top. Hold the fill plug, so we're going to fill that. All the stuff's going the right direction, so we lucked out. Went and lubed the chain with some bar oil from Chainsaw. It's just handy. Should work for today. See if I can't squeeze what I got in this jug here. Hopefully it gets it out. Oh yeah. A little milky though. I don't know if there's a plug on the bottom. Yeah, there is. Another Allen key. I'm thinking we should drain that. I think I got it drained. Yeah, it's a little milky. Plug's got some schmag on it too. Yeah, I don't know, it just didn't look very good, so. Also don't seem like there's a whole lot in there. You can't hold that much, I guess. Oh, I'm close here, I think.
Huh?
So I think we're close. Okay. Still kind of murky, but
Get done, we'll do
another flush on it.
Yeah.
Another day.
Another day. Better than what it was, guarantee that much.
Not sure if you can see, but not a whole lot in there. A little murky. Oh, a little side note while I'm out here and about. Finding some engines hopefully to do some repowering. This is sight unseen out of an auction, little 2-cylinder Lombardini. Turns by hand, so it's definitely not seized. As far as compression goes, couldn't tell you. We're definitely not there yet, as you can sort of see. And little 4-cylinder Deere here. Kind of interesting. It's got an SAE4 bell housing, so that fits either little grader, the other little grader, or possibly the trencher here, but I'm hoping to put it in something with a rad in it already. That's the problem with tracks on ice on a hill. You ain't going nowhere. Side slope will suck you in. Pull it out with the hoe out of the ditch and blow her after. Doesn't seem to have the same jam the other one did. Also, the wind is blowing from that side. I have to go check the flow rating on that unit after, unless the motor sized wrong on that blower for what it is. Can't imagine I'm low on flow. More than the machine can put out anyway. Gotta be software. Anyway, just need to get this road pushed out for today. Like, sucks walking. Get a pass or two and yeah. Definitely gonna have to go on the computer and check the flow rates out later. Anywho, I got 25 minutes to be somewhere, so not today. The swath looks almost Ranger size. Wouldn't call it F350 size. Good old winter weight. Turn the window wiper on. In all fairness, that is some pretty hard snow too. Walking on top of it, and I'm 250 pounds plus. Yep, Ranger sized. Well guys, just give you a little update on the snowblower. Done a little more work with that, and found out why the detent wasn't working on the hydraulics, and throw that out here for all you guys that may have the same issue. Really sunny out here today. The snow, hoarfrost is just glaring everywhere, so don't mind my face. But it's problem with the switch on here. We had a bent bar. Knock some of this stuff off so you can maybe see here. Anyway, this bracket here got bent. Had some shorter hoses on something, and you're working away and looking what you're doing, not how tight the hoses were. It got a little angled. You can see a little bend in there. Anyway, I got it straightened out enough to get this back on. It's just a piece that holds a switch in up here, and my understanding was that little switch was so you had to unhook the hydraulics on here before you could work the quick attach. So I just never bothered with it, because you know, nobody in their right mind is going to work the quick attach with the hoses attached still. So I just flip that up and connect the stuff on. Well, apparently that switch controls the detent on the hydraulics as well. I was sitting in the seat the other day trying to figure out why the snowblower wouldn't stay on. You had to hold the button, and never really bothered me before, because a lot of the stuff I was doing was just you know, one-way kind of hydraulic, running an auger or something like that. So you're augering down, so you use the thumb switch. You'd pull up and reverse or shake it or whatever. So wasn't something you needed for minutes, or like minutes upon minutes or hours. So never thought. But I was sitting in the seat, and John's like, "Oh, maybe that switch." I leaned out, held the switch in there by hand, and kicked it, and lo and behold, it stayed on. So got a new bracket coming. probably coming from New Zealand or Australia or wherever the heck this stuff is. It was a factory order. So that fixes that up. The other thing I found there is flow was set down just a little bit on there. I got it bumped up now to 88 liters a minute for the auxiliary one there. So it's not throwing as much as I thought. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check and see motor size on here and what it's designed for, and whether I can run high flow with it or not. But the other one we got the motor size down on, originally ran 16 gallons a minute off the tractor. So that was that thing would really chuck it, but you couldn't force it too much. So that's where we are with the snowblower. If I find some more out, we'll do an update and let you guys know. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.